Well, let's connect onto the phone line now and speak with the Honourable Member of Parliament for the Ketu South constituency in the Volta region. I'm sure by now you're very much aware, Ketu, what we've been bringing you from Sunday evening, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, on Friday. What's been happening in Keta, Angloga, and Ketu South, the tidal waves that's raging. And before we get into that, though, I'd like to share with you a little poem that's been written by the Honourable Member of Parliament for the area. And for most of you who may have forgotten who she is Abla Dzifa Gomashie. She also has been a dancer, choreographer, an actor, and all sorts of trainer of young people and fine brains. And she's written this poem titled "The Sea Brought Me to My Knees." It says, "I was born by the sea where grandfather gave birth to my father. I was named by grandfather. I took his height. I took his skills, and I was a fisherman. I was born by the sea where grandmother fried fish and smoked fish. I grew up to enjoy the delicacies the sea gave grandfather and grandmother skillfully cooked. I was born by the sea where the roar of the waves was in rhythm with my heartbeat through the umbilical cord. The sea and I had a bond. The sea and I knew each other. I was born by the sea, where father and mother continued, where grandfather and grandmother kicked the bucket. Father and mother became grandfather and grandmother, and I became father and she mother. Oh, I was born by the sea, where everyone knew everyone, and everyone saw grandfather in me more than they saw him in father. I mastered the skills passed on by grandfather. No one could row a canoe better than I. I was born by the sea, where I took pride in the height of grandfather and I. Grandfather and I were as tall as the waves, and where we were triplets or so, I thought, till grandfather joined the ancestors and father became as old as the canoe and stayed home. I was born by the sea, where I was king only till yesterday. Yesterday came and whispered that the sea was with grandfather and I was reduced in height. The sea stopped beating in rhythm with me and betrayed me with a violent kiss and tore my heart to pieces and left the broken. I was born by the sea, where I called home till the sea chose to turn away from me, leaving me homeless. I am on my knees, where the sea has brought me, searching for the umbilical cord to return to the ancestors where the sea can hurt me no more." This is a 2021 poem, fresh. Honorable, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. How are you?
I am alive and well, greater than Accra. This is a touching poem to say. When did you write this?
Yesterday.
What informed this poem?
The image of, well, first of all, Johnny, good morning to you. And I don't know if there's anyone else with you in the studio, but I'm sure people are listening to you. And I say good morning to everyone.
Right.
So this poem was inspired by the image of a chief fisherman in Salakofa, a very cool gentleman, dignified, you know. And I saw him, I met him the first time when I was contesting in the primaries. I had gone to the community and he was one of the people that I had to go and speak to. But then I didn't see him again so much. And he had lost one of his homes. He had 3 homes in that same area.
Okay.
Then in May, he lost the next one. And then now in November, he's lost another. So, like, I saw this dignified man still standing tall, but with his shoulders drooping because he has been hit a hard blow. And he's not a young man. He's not a young man. He should probably be in his mid-60s or early 70s. He reminds me of Honorable B.T. Baba. Right. He was a tall, fine gentleman in Parliament. And I saw him on Monday, and I was crushed. I saw him a few minutes before the venue where I was speaking emotionally to the journalist. And he said, "Mama, Pomda, Mama, look at me. And it brought, oh my God. It's sad. I mean, I haven't forgotten him. Since Monday when I left him. You remember when in May happened, they blocked the road. Do you remember?
I remember they set fire, broke the road.
That was his boat. Yes, that was his boat that had been used. Right. That was his boat that had been used to cross the street.
I see.
And he's a tall gentleman that you see in that picture. That's the gentleman who inspired this poem. That's the gentleman who inspired this poem. I had to use my creativity to weave a story of who I saw and what he had become, and to capture it in my memory for the rest of my life.
I see. I know that you have been in the constituency, and as the leader of the constituency, they would come to you first. How has it been since this latest tidal wave hit? And this is much more devastating than what we saw in May. How has it been since you've been in the constituency?
Look, Johnny, so I thought it was bad when the borders were closed, and I started shouting about it because that's the one avenue they know to make a living.
Right.
And then in March, the same people who I was fighting for have the sea pounding them. Then it happened to them, the same people again in May. And then it's happened to them now in November. Just imagine it. I mean, it's been traumatic. It's been devastating. It's been crippling. It's taking the human dignity, that your well-being is robbed you of everything. It's robbed people of everything. Imagine, Johnny, I've asked all journalists who have called me on this matter. I've said to you, you woke up from a bed this morning. Imagine you went home and even the towel that you used to clean yourself when you had a bath is no more. You have nothing. You are left with nothing but what you're wearing in the studio. How would you feel? That's where they are. And in some of the cases, people who may have had only a cloth around them when they went to sleep, that's all you're left with. This is naked poverty. I don't know if this expression captures it, but it's coming face to face with naked poverty.
You sent me a list of the items that had been given to you as relief items, not to you, your constituents. I'll run through them again. 6 bales of clothing, 30 mattresses, 30 bags of rice, 100 basins, 100 buckets, 100 plastic cups, 15 cartons of soap, 15 boxes of oil, 33 cartons of coil, 25 mosquito bed nets, and 30 blankets. You said this is for 1,000 people. Earlier today, we had somebody in the studio disputing the figures, but NADMO itself had indicated that they had recorded 4,000 people, and they had given Ketu South, Keta, and Angloga some 300 or so. So I'm doing a basic calculation divided by 3. This is the figure we get. How did your people receive this? Knowing that 1,000 people are affected, they did an assessment and they brought you just this.
First of all, Johnny, whoever wrote my name as Gomashie, my father is alive. He won't be happy with that spelling of my name.
I hear you. They will change it, please. It is Gomashie, please.
G-O-M-A.
Right.
G-O-M-A, not N-E.
Apologies, Mamaga.
Johnny, yes, thank you. I feel sorry for the gentleman who was in the studio with Honorable Joyce Bahamuktari, a beautiful, brilliant woman, who sought to say that, dispute what I said. If you brought 100 for 3 communities, do the math. Why did he put himself in that situation? What do I have to gain by conjecturing or coming up with a figure? You said that 100 bags of rice was sent to 3 communities.
Right.
So I'm the one who is telling that you brought 30 bags of rice. Look, I mean, please. as Joyce Bawa Muktari said, just eat humble pie and say, this is what you have for now. In my language, we say, Jomuinela Koshia, yo nanavia. Meaning that whatever beats a poor person has, that's what she puts around her daughter's or her child's neck.
Right.
So this is what you have for now. Go and find the rest of the resources and bring it to the people. And don't let us get down dirty. I don't do dirty game, though. I don't play gutter to gutter. I don't play gutter to gutter.
Mamaga, where are your people sleeping? Your constituents? Their homes have been washed away. Where are they sleeping?
Oh, Johnny, that's the sad part, isn't it? I mean, in May, I did ask that we have, it could be a hall. We could have a hall where we put the people. And to date, up to now, there's nothing that has been done, even though we are sure that it will be done. I don't know where they are. This is what made me break down on Monday, because where I stood was the house in which I begged to use the washroom after the Deba with Honorable Asenso Boache when he came to visit us in May. And that house was more. So I asked, where are the people? I was told that they were in the church, which was directly opposite the building. And I went to the church, and I saw the mattresses by the wall. And the people were not there. So I asked an old woman who was sweeping the room, and I said, where are the people in the house that used to be across the street? And he says, they were here, but we are cleaning up for a revival. So we've asked them to leave and come back when we finish the revival. So I didn't even see them. Didn't see them. I don't know I mean, it's people are in the classrooms further down the road. People, I'm told, have gone to friends and family, and some were under cocoa trees along the street as I returned back to Afla, where I live. So, I mean, I don't know, Johnny. This is just so crippling. This is really, 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 really traumatic.
Mamaga, so I'm looking at the emotional trauma that the people are going through. I'm looking at the anthropogenical affection or attraction that they may have to the places that have been washed away, submerged underwater. I'm also looking at how their buildings would even survive, even if the water goes back into the ocean, how their buildings will have the fortitude to house them. Have you seen any psychologists sent from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, from NADMO, from the security agencies? Have you seen any of them around?
I have not. I met the regional NADMO coordinator and the municipal coordinator. I've met them. They've expressed their commiseration, and that's it. That's as far as I'm concerned. Those are the two gentlemen I've met, and what you suggest, perhaps I should try and reach the municipal health director and ask if they have someone who can be talking to the people. Yeah, it's been I don't know. You know, the image that comes to my mind all the time is when my late mother loves boxing. So every night, like, when you go to visit her, she'll be watching either wrestling or boxing.
Right.
And even for the sports that I follow, I've seen how when people are pummeled and the Zuma Nelson kind of uppercut and whatever cuts that they call those things, and jabs and so on, and they hit the canvas and the referee goes timeout. This is the image that comes to my mind all the time, that these people have been hammered and pounded, you know, till they've been knocked out, completely knocked out. And they may need, as you suggest, some psychologists or people, some counseling. I probably should also talk to the church leaders, and so that their messages this coming Sunday will give hope. Will give hope and inspire them to look forward to a better and brighter tomorrow. Yeah, this is where we are.
Mama, there seems to be, I know that there's pressure on you, financial, emotional, physical, and all of that on you. Because we were there with you in May when the disaster struck. It took not more than a week to respond you are taking food to the people, and you were quite upbeat about it, even though that back and forth with the NADMO Director General trying to defend the indefensible, for me, was a very, very big low. Now, do you have the financial muscle to support them? Because now, obviously, what NADMO has brought to you is inadequate.
Yeah, Johnny, yesterday before I left Accra to come to the constituency, I chanced on an A4 sheet image of me celebrating in Trinidad and Tobago. In 2003, I come from the border. I know how to look for cash, like in a decent way.
Right.
And so I've been very independent from when I was young. This is the first time in my life since probably 1988, 89 that I've been reduced to a state where it's almost like I'm going to start my life all over again. To say broke is an understatement. From 2019 to date, 2 years of drawing resources, everything that I have to support my people, from the closure of the border, I keep reiterating that, to March, to May, to now. Unfortunately, both NADMO and I have not received anything from the state as far as the Common Fund is concerned. So we are indeed in a dry place. I mean, this is Hamatan in a rainy season. This is like, I'm totally helpless. Totally helpless. I can't remember the last time my salary hit my account and I didn't have to pull it. That happens to be the story of all MPs.
Right.
But this is worse because we've had one disaster after the other. Remember when COVID came, we members of parliament had to sew nose masks and do announcements and run around and so on. And then this disaster was in March, May, and now. I mean, it's an ending cycle of expenditure, and income is next to zero. You know, I mean, it's sad to see the NADMO officials all over the place, you know, trying to hold their heads high when I know that they have no resources, like I don't have any resource. Where's the Common Fund? Where's the cash? What's the money that is supposed to help us do our job, our work as members of parliament? Where is it? Who's holding on to it? Please release it. We need it so that we can be effective. I don't want to be labeled as incompetent no more. I endured that for 3.5 years when I was the Deputy Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. Of people who know next to nothing, calling us incompetent. I don't want you to label me as incompetent as a member of parliament. I'm ready to work. Release the funds so I can be effective.
Mama, my final question to you. You have been advocating for many other people within that enclave in the Jomoro area as well for the borders to be activated, because predominantly your people are fisher folk who also do some trading and they are farmers. Now the border has been closed. There are spaces where they used to fish have been swallowed by the sea. Their homes as well submerged. How far have we gone in our attempts to get the government to reactivate the border for people to do business and try and get something to survive on?
Look, on this matter, all I can say is that I feel disappointed by His Excellency President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, because he cannot say that he hasn't heard me. In my question to the Honorable Minister for Interior, our question, I meant to say, in Parliament, his response was that if we members of Parliament wanted to go to Togo, we should write a letter to him. I came to Parliament on the shoulders of 84,664 constituents. Am I going to write a letter for all of them if they want to go to Togo? I said that decision is a decision taken by human beings. The decision of the sea to attack us is nature. It's force majeure.
Right.
So, I can't fight the sea. I can't appeal to the sea. I can't beg the sea. But I can appeal to the sensibilities of the leaders who I'm supposed to be working with for the benefit of the people who live in this country as citizens.
Right.
And they're not listening to me. They're not listening to me. They are sticking their ground. And yet, I drive through Accra every day. I don't see people wearing the mask. Why is it looking like you all love Ketu South more than the rest of Ghana? That's why you're keeping us safe. You've locked us down for 2 years. You love us more than the rest of Ghanaians, the rest of the people in Ghana. Who is monitoring who has been vaccinated and who hasn't been vaccinated? Come on, you all just get it together. You all just need to put your act together. You all just need to live by the oath that you swore to us to protect and make sure that we live in dignity in this country. And stop torturing us in the name of protecting us from COVID. Why are you not protecting the people in the streets of Gomashie, Sunyani, Tamale, and Accra, and ensuring that they are wearing their mask and they are vaccinated? Come on. Stop treating it to start as if we've done some wrong. It's getting out of hand. It's getting misuseful. It's painful to go through this on a daily basis when you know that you've taken the food out of the mouth of the people and you say we should shut up. We can't be quiet. You can't make me keep quiet. You can't. You shouldn't even try to make me keep quiet. I will speak up for the people. What you're doing to the people in Ketu South is wrong. You can't provide for us. You won't allow us to go and provide for ourselves. Why are you doing that?
Oh my God.
Doing that. This is not about COVID. Stop it right there.
Mamaga, thank you very, very much indeed. Grateful that you could join us this morning. I wish you all the best. And we still have our men on the ground who are following on the issues. But
can I appeal to you, Johnny? Can I interrupt you respectfully?
Yes, ma'am.
There are two flyers that I would like you to share so that people can donate and contribute to help us fend for our people. The children whose school building has been taken away and all the other children whose parents can't find anything to support them. We need to look out for these people. So you would kindly do me a favor and share the two flyers that have been put together by two civil society organizations. We have the backing of the 3 members of parliament who are most affected by this tidal wave, and we will appreciate it if you all can support and donate generously so that we can do our work.
Well, so Ellie,
I'm forwarding it to your producer.
Thank you.
The person who called me, I don't know who called me, but somebody called me.
Right.
I'm sending it to that number.
Great. So, Mamaga, the good thing is that Ellie Beach and Media General and 3 Foundation, they have a Save a Life campaign. We already started it. And I'm sure very soon we'll get to your doorstep on it. We're looking at the nature of the distraction witnessed within the Keta municipality in recent times, the livelihoods, and we are looking forward to activating it to reach everybody else. I mean, we deem it as a corporate social responsibility, and so we will follow through it. But thank you very much indeed for your time this morning. That's Mamaga Dzifa Gomashie. She is the Member of Parliament for the Ketu South constituency in the Volta region, one of the communities affected by the tidal waves, along with Keta and Angloga.